Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What up? Big Herc 916, getting down with another episode of Prison Talk. Now, this Prison Talk is a little bit different because I wanted to address something for the women out there, and I'm not hating against the trans community. You know, everybody should have a voice, should have the right to express themselves, to be who they want to be. But as far as in sports, there is some confusion when it comes to having men compete against women in sports, and I think this is all coming to a head. And I think that the women who are speaking out, it's long overdue, and I feel that the trans community should have their own sports league or division when it comes to particular sports. You shouldn't, mix whether it's boxing, MMA, swimming, basketball. If you were born a man and you decide to become a woman, then there should be a league that you can compete in. But I don't think it's fair for the women. And I'm now seeing that more and more women are trying to speak out or starting to speak out, and also are saying it's not fair. I mean, the first instance was Alana McLaughlin, the transgender woman who competed in MMA, 38 years old, and won her first match in a rear naked chokehold, 3 minutes 32 seconds. McLaughlin began her gender transition after leaving the U.S. Army Special Forces in 2010. Now, you're talking about a special forces trained military man that made the transition into becoming a woman, went into MMA to beat up on other women. What sense does that make? How could they even sanction that bout? I don't get it, man. I don't have respect for men who beat up women in relationships. So to, take some hormones and then decide to say you're gonna go start beating up on women, and you say that you are now a woman, does that make sense to you? I'm just curious, because I find it very offensive, and I think women all across MMA should be offended that something like that was allowed. You're talking about denser bone, density, thicker bone density, more muscle, per just the body in itself, and taking hormones is not going to change that. And so to say that a woman has a fair chance against a transgender MMA fighter, that's insane, man. It doesn't make sense. And now they have the Save the Women Sports group. The founder says that the group isn't anti-Leah Thomas, who Beth Seltzer, who told the New York Post, but they're speaking out because now you have Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer, finished the 500-yard freestyle in 4 minutes 33.24 seconds Thursday night to become the first known transgender athlete to win a Division I national championship in any sports. Now, as a male, Leah Thomas was ranked, I want to say like 400 and something in the country, and now the female, she's ranked number 1. Amy Sosa, who protested along the side of Stelzer and others against Thomas in Atlanta, told Fox News she's a lifelong registered Democrat who ultimately feels politically homeless because the Democratic Party no longer represents my beliefs or my views. And this is the New York Post. I mean, what's going on, man? And like I said, no disrespect to the transgender community, but to come in and start just taking the women, you guys are, sitting back, are you guys cool with this? And apparently you're not, because you're speaking out now, which is like, our women are our blessing and we should treat them as though so, but to like say that they're not entitled to have their own place in sports. What's going to happen next? Hormones, surgeries. Like I said, I'm not arguing that transgenders don't have a place in our society and our culture. What I'm saying is to go and say that it's a fair competition entering into women's sports. It baffles me. I don't understand that. I mean, you guys, I would love to read your comments about this, and let me know how you feel as a woman. How do you feel as a man? How do you feel as a transgender? How do you feel about this? Do you think it's fair? I just want to know if you think it's fair. I mean, we have to have some type of rationale. And like I said, create a transgender sports league. If that's what you want to do, you want to be athletic, but I mean, it's obvious it's not fair when you decide to enter into women's sports and just dominate. I wouldn't think that's a fair playing field by any means. I'm just curious to get you guys' opinion. Big Kirk 916, fresh out.
I'm Big Herc, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.